just doing Pavlovian stuff here first. She's got a soft mouth. So what I'm looking for is to see whether or not that she just offers the behavior. And she did. So this is basic touch. She says, I got this. You see the shake off? See the shake off, all that stuff? So that's, okay, that was a little bit much. Okay, I'm going to shake it off. That was a little bit much. Okay, so I'm going to shake it off. So you've seen that her do this many different times. But what I watch for is recovery. How long does it take her to come back and say, okay, I'll interact with you now. So now she says, okay, I figured this out. Good, very good. And so she figured, I get it. When I touch this thing, I get a treat. So as far as what these are called novel stimuli, or something that's brand new, so she can handle this thing at this level where it's just being presented. She's not shying away. She does. What I've been watching here.
Well, I mean, she doesn't mind when there's people walking through, you know, so this is good.
Well, what I'm measuring is whether or not she's turning away from it, and she is. So in other words, it makes her a little bit nervous, but she recovers and she turns away and checks out. It isn't like she's going after it. But you can see that she's nervous about all this stuff. Are you ready? Are you ready? You said she was nervous about squeaking with us.
Yeah, maybe you guys have played with her now, but the first time we brought him out.
The first time, yeah, she was just like kind of freaked out.
There's no reaction. Now the other thing I was doing there was touching her at different parts of her body. She got a little nervous when my hand went towards her back. You could see her tail go between her legs and her get stiff, and her back legs going out this way. You can see her front legs are straight up and down. There you go, get them.
So we wash it. Yeah.
What we don't know, so she said, yeah, that makes me a little nervous, but she handled it. What we don't know is whether or not she'll just go over stimulus. In other words, just you cannot predict what a dog will do in a certain context that all of a sudden say, you just push my button. So I'm actually going a little bit further than what I would normally do for a dog, but she seems, so, ready? There we go. See her back legs stretch out.
She definitely likes the snacks.
I'm sorry?
She likes the food.
She likes the food. Okay, now she can handle that. So the next step is whether she'll do it without me feeding her at the same time. Yeah, that was okay. She's a little nervous about it, but so far she hasn't escalated. In other words, she stayed under a particularly energy level. There's 4 stages: alert, still, stiff, trigger. She's never gotten into a stiff state yet, which is really good. Trigger is when they go after you or they go away. So she has maintained a medium level. Now there's a lot of tests that do, when they do evaluations, there's a lot of these tests where somebody will actually ask the dog to find out where the stress management threshold is and see if they can get them over that threshold. I never do that. A, because it's so stressful for the dog, and then the next time somebody comes out and does it, then you have to redo all this stuff. Good job. Okay, ready? Chop, chop. Put your butt on the floor. Good.
Look, she's listening. Good job.
Find it. This is called the 45-second rule. It takes dogs and children and significant others an average of 45 seconds to process things. So the body figures it out before the brain becomes aware of it. You see your tail going flip, flip, flip. There's your shake off. And that's why you wait 45 seconds.
And there she's going to get it.
You will always have to give yourself, other human beings and dogs 45 seconds to process things. So she said, now that was awesome, to be honest with you. Hey, Farfel, where'd you go?
Right down the corner, left. Yep.
Good. Ready? What, please? Up there? Good. Very good. Look at you. Find it.
Oh, God. She's like, all right.
Oh, there we go.
The loving right. There we go, she says.
There she goes. There she goes. Okay. She's like, but I love you. Give me a kiss. Okay, back to business.
Just because there was that interruption does not mean her unconscious isn't still working on this. From the moment he left, the clock is still on again.
Okay.
Pretty great, isn't it? This is where people keep going, sit, down, down. So just let the dog think.
Yeah.
If they can't figure it out in 45 seconds, if the person can't do 4th grade arithmetic, go back a grade level and say, this is what I want you to do. Okay, so even with that escalation, she didn't kick it up another level and just go wild on it, so she's doing pretty good.
She's just marking her territory. She's not even peeing.
Is this drainage?
You can just throw it out, yeah. No problem.
Good job, buddy. Here you go. So again, I started at a distance of 6 feet. A lot of times, what some trainers will do is just throw it next to the dog and freak him out. But I don't want to give her a bad experience. So she's startled, but she recovered.
I startled.
How you doing? And the secondary distance is 6 to 20 feet. So at that distance, she just says, what's that? So when you test for touch, sound, and motion, when you do these things, as far as where she's at, it's acceptable. It's an acceptable range. She's awesome.
She's good?
Oh, yeah.
Good girl, right?
She's awesome. She should not be placed with a family with children because she does face punches.
Mm-hmm.
Where she comes up and boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
and she'll do that in a person's face. Unintentionally, she's being taught to jump here, so because she's such a powerful dog, she needs her basic rudimentary training. Just because she's got a really good evaluation here does not mean if you place her in another environment that reminds her of her past environment, that she isn't all of a sudden going to trigger and go over threshold and say, this is beyond me. But she's offered everything of submissive behavior. Whenever she was challenged at all, she immediately just rolled over on her back. Her head went down whenever she was touched. She didn't do any quick head jerks and saying, I really, really hate that. She never got stiff.
Miracle. Come here, love. Come.
Hi, kiddo. Now, what we don't know is how she gets along with dogs. This is with humans. And we also don't know how she gets along with children, which is why I spoke to you on the phone when I normally do these things. I do
The
an
family,
evaluation in 3 different.
the guy that had her, actually, they had kids, and they said she was great with the children.
She may be, but because of her size.
Yeah, big girl.
Good
What's the
job.
weight on her?
I don't know. I don't have the chart on me right now, but it should be on the chart. I'll ask right now, maybe.
Around 55, 60-ish? Yeah, huh?
Yeah, definitely 60.
There's no stiffness going on here. There's no head turn.
She wants to kiss you, no?
Yeah, but sometimes that's you're going over my limit, and sometimes that's submission for,
Yeah, you
submissive
gotta
and for her.
learn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When she licks, there's a difference between she wants like she's giving you love, and then she's
Yes.
giving you like a little warning.
Yeah,
right?
knock it off. Yeah.
Okay.
So that one was that. I'm a little bit stressed about that. A little bit nervous about it, but I can handle it. Good job. Okay, now what that I would watch things like that. So her head just came up to me here. So now I'm watching to see if she goes into her next escalation. Good job. Good job. See your tail?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do not believe, based on what she's doing here, I do not believe she's gone over threshold. Do you have any record of her biting anybody?
The owner said that the abuser, let's put it this way, said that she was going after him. He couldn't touch her. He was afraid of her.
Well, did he give you any specifics about what going after meant?
Barking. She just wanted to bite whenever he wanted to touch her.
Yeah, and this is why you have to get really specific. Dogs know exactly what they're doing, so the specific question would be, has she ever intentionally bit someone and drawn blood?
I don't think so.
Okay. My read is she hasn't done it because she hasn't demonstrated it here. Once they go over that line, that little pathway is then formed, and that's where the behavioral water, so to speak, can then dribble. I don't see that. I see her getting stiff in a certain kind of situations as I started to escalate. However, she immediately backed down. So I think she's terrific. But I would, again, as I mentioned, I would do 2 more evaluations in different contexts if possible. And we don't know how she is with other dogs other than the report of that one attendant who was saying didn't like it. So I'm guessing that has to do with either confinement or restraint.
Yeah, she was absolutely, she lived her life in a kennel, basically.
Yeah.
And then they were trying to breed her, force breed
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
and beating her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's unintentional, but
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Hi, Miracle. Come here, man.
So for being in this